Tall or high? Which one do I use? A student recently told me that American people are higher than British people. After a moment of confusion, I realized that he meant taller. So let's find out the differences between tall and high. Tall is an adjective we use to describe something that is above average height. He is a tall man. We can also use tall when we talk about the measurement of a person from head to foot. So, for example, I am not a tall woman. I am quite short, but I can say that I am 156 centimeters tall. That's 5'1" in case you were wondering. We normally use tall for something that is thinner in width than in height. So things that can be tall are people, animals. I'll go into more detail later about animals. Also ladders, trees, and buildings. Although if someone said a tall building, I would think of a building with a lot of floors, like a skyscraper, not just an ordinary house. However, you might think that if a building isn't tall, that it must be the opposite, short. But we wouldn't call a building short. We would say small. When measuring objects, we can use either tall or high after the specified measurement. For example, that tree is 20 meters tall, or that tree is 20 meters high. My ladder is 2 meters tall, or my ladder is 2 meters high. Which brings me to high. When else do we call something high? High can be an adjective meaning of great vertical extent. As a general rule, if something is quite wide as well as tall, then we describe it as high. That doesn't apply to people. Don't say that a person is high, even if they are very wide. No. Things that we would normally describe as high are fences and walls, hills, mountains and cliffs, and ceilings. Examples: the mansion is surrounded by high walls and fences. High ceilings are a desirable feature in British houses. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Fun fact: Mauna Kea, a mountain in Hawaii, is taller in measurement than Mount Everest, but the base of it is at the bottom of the sea, so it's not as high above the ground. Which brings me to my next point. High is also used to describe the elevation of an object, how far it is from the ground. I'm talking about clouds, birds, aeroplanes, and other things that hang around in the sky. For example, that plane is so high I can hardly see it. Cirrocumulus clouds are thin patches of cloud found at high altitudes. Cranes and storks are high-flying birds. So, if I am at the top of a tall building, my position compared to the ground is high. I wouldn't say, "I'm so tall up here." I would say, "I'm so high up here," because being at the top of a tall building still wouldn't make me tall, unfortunately. If we can't reach something, we say it is high or up high. I have to say this a lot because everything is out of my reach. It's too high. I can't reach. Store all your cleaning products up high. Got to keep the children safe. Okay, let's talk about animals. Animals can be described as either tall or high, depending on the situation. For animals that are measured to the top of the head, like for example giraffes, ostriches, or gorillas, it sounds better to say they are whatever measurement tall. That giraffe is over 5 meters tall. Gorillas can grow to over 6 feet tall when standing on 2 legs. But we can also use high with animals, especially ones that walk on 4 legs, because measurements are usually taken at the shoulders or withers, as they're called on animals. Like an elephant or a dog or a horse. They might be tall, as in above average height, but when we talk about measurement, we are more likely to use high, especially when we're looking at the animal from the side. I just saw an elephant that was 3 meters high. The racing horse Phar Lap was 16 hands high. A hand is the special measurement used for horses. Speaking of high horses, another fun fact, there is an expression, to be on one's high horse, meaning a person who thinks that they are superior to others, or that their views and morals are better than those of other people. If someone is very outspoken about an issue, someone else might say, "Oh, get off your high horse." That's a little extra idiom for you there. What would an English lesson be without an idiom thrown in? Okay, so that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe too. See you next time. Bye.